Right, so previously on this channel, we have spoke about many massive companies that have faced a lot of backlash and quite literally ruined their reputation. But I'm not sure if we've ever spoke about a company this big. So today we're going to be talking about Duolingo. Duolingo, of course, being like an app website where you can learn languages. I've never actually used it myself, so I can't tell you like if I think it's good or whatnot. But I mean, it's a massive company. I'm sure most people who are watching this video have heard of it before. And I mean, we can actually see here that Duolingo's net worth as of May 19th, 2025 is around $24 billion. And of course, like I said, I've never actually personally used the app, but one thing I have seen that they've clearly done very, very well is their marketing strategy, actually getting the Duolingo name out there. And a big part of their marketing strategy is actually been through TikTok videos. They have a very big TikTok account. We can see the TikTok account right here with 16.7 million followers. This isn't the most amount of followers that they've ever had. We'll get to that. But they would post content in here all the time. As we can see right now though, there is no content. All the videos have been deleted. I mean, their profile picture's also gone. The bio says, gone for now, 1, 2, 3, with a bunch of like eye emojis. Like, I don't know what they're trying to be like all mysterious, I guess. But just to give you a gist of the type of videos that they would post, there's like loads of compilations on YouTube of their videos. I mean, we can go through them here. As you see, when you use Google Translate instead of actually learning a language, and they have like this mascot that they use in all of these videos. There was something that they did, there's some marketing strategy where like the Duolingo bird died a while ago for some reason. I never really understood it. There's also another video here saying when all you can say in French is bonjour, and there's people celebrating with the bird. You get the point, right? They were trying to make these like funny videos, and it clearly worked because they got millions and millions of followers, and I'm sure that did translate into a lot of people actually using the app. Well, obviously people did use the app. It's very successful, as we've just seen, but I'm sure the actual videos on TikTok also helped a lot. So now let's get into the controversy, right? Why has the Duolingo page deleted all of their videos? Why are they trying to be all like cryptic in their bio? Like, what's going on here? Well, this actually all started when the CEO of Duolingo announced that the company will now be an AI first company. I mean, we can see an article here on The Verge. It says Duolingo will gradually stop using contractors to do work that AI can handle. According to an all hands email sent by co-founder and CEO Louis von Ahn announcing that the company will be AI first. The email was posted on Duolingo's LinkedIn account. And we can see what was posted on the LinkedIn account here. We'll go through some key points. So it starts off by saying, I've said this in Q&As in many meetings, but I want to make it official. Duolingo is going to be AI first. AI is already changing how work gets done. It's not a question of if or when, it's happening now. When there's a shift this big, the worst thing you can do is wait. In 2012, we bet on mobile, while others were focused on mobile companion apps for websites. We decided to build mobile first because we saw it was the future. That decision has helped us win the 2013 iPhone App of the Year and unlock the organic word of mouth growth that followed. Betting on mobile made all the difference. We're making a similar call now. This time the platform shift is AI. And I think you can probably see where this is going, right? Because this isn't a company just saying like we're going to use some AI tools to help us out here and there. They are quite literally saying we are now an AI first company. And as we read on further, there's clearly a lot of concerns that can be raised with the fact that this seemingly is going to replace humans. AI isn't just a productivity boost, it helps us get closer to our mission. To teach well, we need to create a massive amount of content, and doing that manually doesn't scale. One of the best decisions we made recently was replacing a slow manual content creation process with one powered by AI. Without AI, it would take us decades to scale our content to more learners. We owe it to our learners to get them this content ASAP. AI also helps us build features like video calls that were impossible to build before. For the first time ever, teaching as well as the best human tutors is within our reach. Yeah, I think this part in particular is something that I think a lot of people will disagree with, me included. We've seen so many different like AI programs where we'll simulate a human speaker and you might even have like a back and forth conversation. It never feels authentic. And especially with something like learning a language, where I assume for most people the reason why you want to learn the language is to communicate with other people who can speak the language. Speaking to AI, it's just not going to have the same effect. Especially when, of course, it's not as simple as just like learning key phrases like, I went to the park, I feel tired, I feel good, all that stuff, right? There's local dialect. The way that actual people pronounce words often sounds very different to what an AI will sound like. It just doesn't have the same effect, but there are a lot more concerns that are raised the further we get on with this. Being AI first means we will need to rethink much of how we work. Making minor tweaks to system design for humans won't get us there. In many cases, we'll need to start from scratch. We're not going to rebuild effing overnight, and some things like getting AI to understand our code base will take time. However, we can't wait until the technology is 100% perfect. We'd rather move forward with urgency and take occasional small hits on quality than move slowly and miss the moment. So yeah, basically they're admitting the fact that there is going to be a quality drop here whilst they're going through with this. We'll be rolling out a few constructive constraints to help guide the shift. We'll gradually stop using contractors to do work that AI can handle. AI use will be part of what we look for in hiring. AI use will be part of what we evaluate in performance reviews. Headcount will only be given if a team cannot automate more of their work. Most functions will have specific initiatives to fundamentally change how they work. Yeah, so this part here is also another part that people have a lot of concerns over. I think specifically when they're saying stuff like, we'll gradually stop using contractors to do work that AI can handle. In Duolingo's response, which we'll get to, right, the CEO has made a response to all of this going on, but basically the response is it's a bit of a misunderstanding, you know? We're not actually like firing employees to like replace them with AI, which I guess technically might be true, right? They're not firing people to replace them with AI, but they are saying that they're going to stop hiring people, like hiring contractors, if AI can do that job. So to say it's not going to have any effect on like humans being hired, it just seems to be a lie based on their own statement. All of this said, Duolingo will remain a company that cares deeply about its employees. This isn't about replacing duos with AI. It's about removing bottlenecks so we can do more with the outstanding duos we already have. We want you to focus on creative work and real problems, not repetitive tasks. We're going to support you with more training, mentorship, and tooling for AI in your function. Change can be scary, but I'm confident this will be a great step for Duolingo. It will help us better deliver on our mission, and for duos, it means staying ahead of the curve and using this technology to get things done. Okay, so that was an email that was sent out by the CEO of Duolingo. It was also posted on their LinkedIn page. Now, instantly, there was backlash. As soon as people were made aware of this statement, there was a lot of people like mass unfollowing, which we'll get to later, a lot of people voicing their concerns, a lot of people making videos, which we'll look at now. For example, there's a video here by a TikToker called Shelby GT, who uploaded this video.
Watching the live downfall of Duolingo. They announced yesterday that their company is going AI first, which means they're going to stop using their contractors to do work that AI can handle. And it's safe to say that the public is not too happy about that. You would think companies would learn from other companies who broke their business by making the general public upset, but as of right now, they're sticking to it. But even if they go back saying they're not going to do this, the damage has already been done. In their comment section, people are talking about how we are now boycotting them and how they are deleting the app.
Yeah, so actually, let's take a look at some of these comments, because obviously I can't see these comments anymore because the TikTok account's gone. So just looking at this screenshot, we got some comments like, Duolingo replacing all employees with AI is the push I needed to delete the app. Can anyone give me better Duolingo alternatives since we're all boycotting, I believe I'll say. We also see later on in this video that the reviews on the iOS App Store, they have been absolutely bombed with 1-star reviews. With reviews such as Duolingo's CEO said they're going to be AI first, more money for them, less for the people, app was never that good and now it's not worth it morally, couldn't cancel my subscription fast enough after reading the announcement, I've uninstalled the app, fire your CEO. We also had videos like this one from a creator called Lorenzita Santos, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, but this is someone who has clearly used Duolingo a lot and now is no longer going to be using it. I mean, to be fair, they start off the video by saying that they've actually been using it a lot but haven't really learned much.
I have a 1,909-day streak on Duolingo, and I can say with 100% confidence that I've learned absolutely nothing on this app. I started using Duolingo back in 2019 to prepare for my study abroad in China. I had a 200-day streak in Chinese before I went to China, and I can say that was pretty much useless. I did not learn anything.
Yeah, like I said, I've never used the app, but from what I'm seeing, a lot of people didn't really like the app anyways. I don't know if that's because of the backlash, and that is why people are voicing these opinions. Or maybe that was just the case the whole time. If you have actually used the app, let me know in the comment section down below. From what I'm seeing from a lot of people is that they're saying that the app doesn't really help in like real life environments. But either way, the video carries on. Of course, she goes on to speak about the whole like AI statement that they've released.
Duolingo is rolling out AI, and for better or for worse, AI now exists in our society. But I think the biggest problem that they have decided to do is that they are getting rid of contractors and replacing it with AI, which I don't agree with getting rid of people for AI.
Yeah, clearly, as we can see here, the biggest problem people have is that they're replacing humans with AI. There's obviously tons of people that just don't like AI in general, but regardless if we like it or not, it looks like it's here to stay, right? It's going to be involved in a lot of companies, regardless of what the public opinion is. But taking it a step further of using that AI to replace humans and not just using it as a way to like make a certain process easier, but still keeping your human employees, you know? People are never going to be okay with that. Because at the end of the day, with the way that this is going, if more and more companies start doing this, it is definitely going to start affecting people's livelihoods, right? I know we're not talking about like employees here, we're talking about contractors who probably did like a certain amount of jobs for a certain amount of time and weren't like officially employees of the company. But still, if many more companies are going to start doing stuff like this, them contractors are going to have less and less job opportunities. And I'm sure there'll be people who have the opinions of like, oh, but if the AI makes the job easier, why wouldn't they do that? They're going to save so much money. At the end of the day, we should be trying to like back up the humans over some robots, right? I mean, again, it's so different when it starts affecting people's livelihoods. You don't want to see people's livelihoods get affected. You don't want to see people losing work. No one wants to see that. And I think it also raises a lot of concerns of how far this will go, right? Because this is what AI is currently capable of. Who knows what's going to happen in like 20, 30 years, right? It's probably going to be way, way, way more effective, which could be concerning to a lot of people who probably don't think that AI could affect their job currently. It might in the future. Now, the last video I'm going to show before we get into the aftermath of all of this is actually a video by a TikToker called Lucas, who has around 337,000 followers, and he has basically uploaded like a skit about this whole thing.
And why would you do that? So that we can create the courses faster. And it will increase our productivity. And we're gonna save so much money. There it is. Well, every other company's using AI. Why does it matter if we do? Because other companies are using AI to help with things like online shopping, whereas you guys are trying to teach languages, which are incredibly complex and ever-changing subjects, and are also highly dependent on nuances like grammar, pronunciation, and dialect. Well, AI language models have come a long way. I mean, it's basically like talking to a native speaker. It's not even close. In fact, AI is still notoriously bad with tonal languages like Mandarin, Thai, or Vietnamese, where a single word can essentially mean 6 different things just depending on the inflection that you put on it. It's even worse with languages that utilize polysynthetics like German, Russian, or Native American languages, where one word can function as an entire complex sentence.
Yeah, actually saying that, I was actually looking at Reddit like whilst I was looking into this whole situation. There was a lot of people kind of like voicing their concerns, like users of Duolingo, that have said that there has been like certain things that they've seen that is just categorically wrong in terms of like the wrong words used or like the wrong orders of the sentences and stuff like that. And I don't know if that's just like a coincidence that I'm now seeing this after this information came out, or if actually something has changed recently. Who knows? Again, I haven't used it. Maybe that was always a problem. Now, not only was a lot of people voicing their opinions on this in like videos and comment sections, a lot of people were unfollowing the Duolingo TikTok account. I mean, we can see on this chart here, the highest amount of followers that the Duolingo account reached was 17 million. That was just at the end of April. And like I mentioned earlier, Duolingo currently has 16.7 million followers. Clearly still just a ridiculous amount of followers, but they have lost 300,000 followers from this. In fact, the backlash became so big that the CEO, Louis von Ahn, actually went onto Bloomberg television to answer a few questions, and one of the questions being about the concerns.
Let's talk about that a little bit more, that you're not necessarily reducing the workforce here. You came out with the news earlier this week that you're launching 148 new courses with the help of AI. I spent a lot of time on TikTok. I know that the Duolingo team does as well, and there was a lot of pushback to this AI first push. And I wonder, what your response is to some of the concerns that have been raised about how this impacts the humans.
Yeah, I mean, there's some real concerns about, of course, people and employees. I mean, we're a company that really cares about our employees. I think there was some misunderstanding. This basically, I sent an email, an internal email, and there was some misunderstanding. What we said is that whenever there is some job that can be done by AI, and it can be done really well, then we're unlikely to hire contractors to do that job.
Yeah, I mean, he says it's an understanding, then kind of like repeats what was said in the statement, which is what I've seen most people talking about, the problem that they actually have here. So I'm not really sure what the misunderstanding is, unless, like, I guess there might have been people assuming that he was firing employees rather than just not rehiring contractors. But yeah, I mean, we can clearly see his kind of response to it all is that it's a bit of a misunderstanding.
Most of the things that AI can do, we're not hiring contractors to do. So this is not a huge change. And for our full-time employees, where there's no change whatsoever. We're going to continue employing them because this is such a big opportunity that we're going to be investing quite a bit.
I mean, he says it's not a big change, but I mean, the statement definitely came across as if it was a big change. I mean, it literally ends by saying change can be scary, but I'm confident this will be a great step for Duolingo, and so on and so on. So, I mean, look, he's obviously not going to go into the most detail in his response, right? He wants to try to keep like the backlash at a minimum. So It is a bit of like a nothing response, but basically what he's saying here is that it's a misunderstanding and it's not going to be that different. Now, one of the weirdest things that kind of came out of this was like the TikTok account's response to all the backlash. I mean, we've spoke about many situations before where like two TikTokers are going back and forth, and there's one person who people clearly disagree with more. They end up like deleting their account, deleting their videos. But I don't know if we've ever seen like just like a massive company like Duolingo do the same. I mean, there are videos posted, as we can see here, of screen recordings of people just refreshing the Duolingo page, showing like what videos are available now. We can see that my first day as CEO, he refreshes, the video's gone. And then this is just a video kind of refreshing as videos keep getting deleted. Then after deleting the videos, deleting the profile picture, they started changing the bio a few times. As I mentioned before, it currently says gone for now 123, but that wasn't always the case. And in fact, we can see in this video by Brandon Spam, he actually shows a screenshot of the profile as the videos have been deleted, and the bio was changed to real eyes, real lies, real lies. Again, with the eye emojis, I think they're obviously going to come back and do some like big PR stunt thing, you know, that's similar to like the bird's dead, you know, just to get people talking. The weirdest bio they changed it to was one we can see on not Mr. Maynard's TikTok account, and it was actually changed to r/I'm 14 and this is deep with the eye emojis again. A subreddit where people kind of take the piss out of stuff that's like a bit cringe. It's meant to be like deep, but it's not deep. It would only really seem deep to a child, you know? So to me, that does seem like a direct response to the backlash, right? Like, people are obviously annoyed about this whole thing, and I guess their response is like, it's not that deep, bro. Also, ironically, I did see this on Reddit, by the way. I didn't find out this myself, so I can't really take credit, but if you actually look on the Duolingo website, it says Duolingo was founded in 2011, so Duolingo is currently 14. So you can kind of see the irony there, right? Because in a lot of people's opinions, Duolingo are definitely acting their age. Again, I've just never seen a massive company respond like this, or like deleting all their videos and whatnot. I guess it is to kind of like have this massive comeback and start posting videos again. I'm not sure though. It just seems like a bit of an odd response. In fact, there's actual like TikTok accounts like this one called Duolingo is Back, where they're now posting videos with like cut up clips from old Duolingo videos and making it seem as if this is the new account, and you can see they are doing well. I mean, this one has 4.6 million, 2.6 million, 400k. Like, a lot of people actually believe this is the new account. I'm not sure if they always were very upfront with the fact that it's not real. The bio does currently say, all satire, I'm not the official Duolingo. But either way, that is a summary of what's happened, why there was backlash in the first place, and the response to the backlash. I would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below on everything we spoke about, the statement itself, the responses to the statement, Duolingo's response to the backlash. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'm gonna leave it there. So if you did enjoy the video, please leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new. Also, if you're interested in some other content, me and Emily have a channel where we play games, react to reality shows, so if that's interesting to you, that's always linked in the description. And until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Okay, goodbye.